Hello, my name is Adam Garance, and welcome to this week's episode of the Susan and Mo team presents Adam Garance's Fun with Real Estate. Today's episode is a good one. We are here to discuss home inspections. Now let's say you've bought a home conditional on an inspection, and your parents are so happy that they start calling all of your relatives. Your phone rings and you hear, "Jerry, hello, it's your Uncle Leo." After a 15-minute conversation about your cousin Jeffrey, the park ranger, he finally says, "Your mother called me and she said you bought a house. Save the money on the inspection, I'll do it for free." Now this may sound like a great deal, free home inspection. But just because Leo bought a house 35 years ago doesn't mean that he knows the ins and outs that might be important when deciding if this house passes the inspection. This is where today's guest comes in. Please welcome from Century Details Home Inspection Services, Steve Bourne. So Steve, what is a home inspection?
Well, a home inspection is to go through a home and basically looking for major or significant defects. But I mean, I'm looking for the small things too, but those are not the major things I'm looking for. Most people can see that. Basically on a home inspection, I'm going to start on the roof. I'm going to do the roof the best way I can possibly. Ladder at eaves, get on the roof if I can. I'll always get on the roof if I possibly can, but safety, of course, is important. I'm going to do all the exterior windows, doors, sidings, everything pertaining to the outside of the house. Go to the garage, go to the basement, go through the heating, electrical, plumbing, structure. I open the furnace, I open the electrical panel, I open everything I possibly can. I don't just stand back and look at stuff. Okay, going to go through each level of the house, each room. At the end, we're going to do attic for insulation, ventilation, and structure. By the time I'm done, the client will be able to make a good, educated decision on which way they're headed with that home.
Steve, why is it important for a home inspector to be used instead of your Uncle Leo?
Well, Adam, before I became a home inspector, I was a contractor and for 25 years. And I thought I knew quite a bit, and I did. So 21 years ago, I met some guys that were in the home inspection business, and they trained me, and I realized just how much I didn't know. Doing a home inspection on a home takes a certain set of skills, which comes from experience, which comes from education, and just general knowledge. I have this happen a lot where I hear agents saying, yeah, they got their uncle, their cousin, their whatever out to do a home inspection. I've also had clients call and say they got a relative, or they're just fishing for prices, and they'll say, well, why should I use you? And it's like I tell them, if you can find somebody with my expertise or with a qualified home inspector's expertise that can do the same job, you'd be crazy to use me. But I have a certain set of skills, and they're very invaluable skills.
Good to know, good to know. What are the most common issues that you find in a home?
The most common issues that I typically find on a home inspection are basically general maintenance things. And if general maintenance things aren't looked after, those lead to the large defects. And when I do a home inspection, I try to educate people on how to maintain the house and look after the home to prevent the major defects when they go to sell the house. The most significant things I find are typical on the exterior or gutters and grading, and every home inspector will tell you this. When I'm around the house, I tell the clients numerous times, gutters and grading, gutters and grading. Water is what kills a home. So we need to keep the water away from the house. We need good shingles. We need good grading on the outside to keep the water out. If we don't do these things, water can cause a lot of foundation issues, a lot of structural issues generally. The biggest issue is that, and it's very simple. It's some earth and some downspout extensions or gutters. When we get into significant items, they're usually things caused from that not being done, where we have water getting out of foundation for a long period of time. Water can get under the footings, disturb soil, foundations settle, we get cracks, we get leaks. Also, with the age of a home, we have different foundation coatings from different ages, which can cause different effects. Like an old stone foundation, I tell people, is designed to leak. It was never designed to keep water out. When we get into early concrete, it can get very soft with age. So there's different things. With newer foundation coatings, really we shouldn't have foundation leakage. But still, if we don't keep the water away from the foundation, the footings, the water can get under and cause cracks. And those get very expensive. The other things we get into is we get into older furnaces, and these are big ticket items. Older furnaces, air conditioning systems, which can be expensive, and you don't get people love doing a kitchen because they can show all their friends. Not many people take them down and show them a nice shiny new furnace. But it's important. Then we get into the health issues on a home. We're always worried about lead pipes, asbestos on ducts, asbestos in attics, vermiculite insulation, for instance. And these are things that are important to find on a home inspection because they can be very expensive to remediate after the fact. So it's very important to be able to determine what these things are and find them. Those can be very expensive to repair.
Now, you did mention it in that description there, what I guess would be considered a large or a major defect.
Well, I guess that kind of depends on the person buying the home. I have people that will run with a shrinkage crack in a foundation, which is normal, run from a house, and all the people that will buy a house that has major significant cracks. So I guess it all depends on the person and the wallet. But I mean, when you're getting into things where it's big structure, like major foundation cracks, I mean, I've told people to run from houses. You know, you go in and there's major cracks, there's major rot in structure. A lot of these old buildings, like we mentioned, the stone foundations, a lot of these with crawl spaces, and there's been moisture under there forever, and all the joist ends, a lot of them are log joists, and they're all rotted off. And then you're into significant repairs, getting in to repair that. Like I tell most people, or I tell everybody, is everything's fixable, you know, within reason. It's a matter of how much you want to spend on doing that. So, you know, people will tell me, should I buy this house or would I buy this house? And like I'll tell people, unless it's major significant, I'll say, now knowing what you know, what I've educated you about, there's no reason not to buy this house. And again, in certain cases, I tell people to run. But there's no reason not to buy this house, knowing now what you know. Now it's possibly a negotiation with your real estate agent.
Awesome. Well, that was very informative, Steve. Thank you so much. I can definitely see why we should use you instead of Uncle Leo.
Thanks, Adam.
Thank you again for stopping by today, and stay tuned next week for another fun-filled episode.